not just dropping down, it's really heavy driving rain now. And I imagine in the cockpit it must be absolutely unimaginable.
Yes, an absolute nightmare. As I've said several times today, I'm extremely happy to be sitting here. We're getting a little bit damp here, and the electrics of our monitors have got very damp, but I'd much rather be here than there. They've got a very, very tough job on their hands, and this is where they earn these huge telephone numbers and deserve the huge telephone numbers in terms of money that the drivers get. And you can see Beloff's problem. You saw then he's in the spray. Now, that's a good shot. You saw from behind that he really can't see where he's going. And he's trying to challenge René Arnoux for third place, but he's having to do it from memory.
Only 6 drivers are on the same lap now. Prost, Senna, Arnoux, Beloff, Rosberg and De Angelis in that order. They're coming through now, these two, to complete their 26th lap.
As they go down the straight here, we missed it, but we saw then as they went into the Rascasse corner, a very good view of exactly what Stefan Beloff can't see, which is everything. He can't see a thing at all. Oh dear, and it's going to be very difficult up the hill because it gets very narrow, and the René Arnoux will take a line, and it's not a passing place. Beloff had an opportunity there, but unfortunately for him it was at the wrong place. He's having a look down the inside too, and I would think that he's going to try and get very quickly around the right-hand part here of the Casino Square and maybe try and outbrake him down into the Mirabeau, and he's well positioned to do it. And he's got the inside line, and Arnoux's going to hit him. And that was a little bit naughty by René Arnoux, and Beloff did terribly well to avoid it, because Arnoux, without any doubt, moved unjustifiably into into Beloff rather, who had to get up on the curb to avoid him, and that was very, very well driven by Stefan Beloff.
Who is now in 3rd position, and as you saw, Riccardo Patrese, there is his green Alfa Romeo, has joined the retirements on lap 26. The leaders now are on their 27th lap, and there is the 3rd place man. What an absolutely scintillating drive by Stefan Beloff, 26-year-old, the man from Eton, 10 years racing experience in Formula Ford and Formula 2 and Group C, World Endurance Championship racing. Now in the highest place he's ever been in a Grand Prix, having finished 5th at San Marino, 6th in Belgium. And look again at the replay as they come down the hill to the Mirabeau.
Now watch, Arnoux sees him coming alongside, and he starts moving into the corner long before the corner, and that's very, very naughty. And I have to say that it was both naughty and unintelligent, but then that's a characteristic with René Arnoux that we've seen before. But to move over that, because he could have put himself out of the race as well as Beloff, because when these open-wheel cars touch, anybody can have an accident, and it's totally unpredictable because they rub tyres and anything can happen. And so that was unclever driving by Arnoux, both for Beloff's point of view and from his own.
Now, as Prost goes into the tunnel for the 28th time, I can tell you that the gap between himself and Ayrton Senna, who is second, is diminishing. It's diminishing quite rapidly. It was 31 seconds at one point, and it's down to 21 now. So, for whatever reason, either because Prost is taking it easy, or because Senna is really starting a charge, the second-place man, Brazilian Ayrton Senna, in the British Toleman, with Ted Toleman here himself to watch it, as is Alex Hawkridge of Toleman, Rory Byrne, the Toleman designer, Peter Gethin, the new team manager, all very much on their toes, worrying about what's happening. And I'm going to give you the time interval now between the completion of this lap for Alain Prost in the lead and Senna, who is in second place, with the news that Keke Rosberg is closing up on Arnoux for 4th position, as Lauda completes the lap by foot. Now, Prost has gone through. The gap was 21 seconds. Lauda looking at Derek Warwick's car, taking an interest in everything all around him, perhaps wanting to delay the moment before he gets back, and we're still waiting for Senna to come through. And here he is. The gap now is down to 18 seconds. So Alain Prost in the lead is being caught quite rapidly. Here is Alain Prost on his 29th lap. Ayrton Senna has got the gap down from 31 seconds to 18 seconds.
Yes, this means that at the current rate of progress, Prost is going to have to find another gear, because Senna is catching him quite comfortably enough to do it well before the end of the race, with plenty of time to find a way around him.
Here's the leader. Senna second, Belloff third. The two new boys of Grand Prix racing this season in second and third places. Arnoux is fourth, Rosberg is fifth, and catching Arnoux, De Angelis is sixth. The last man to be on the same lap as the leader. Alboreto is a lap behind in seventh place. Ghinzani is the highest he's ever been in a Grand Prix, in eighth position. In ninth place is Jacques Lafitte. Then 4 laps behind the leader, but now out of the race, Patrese, as is Lauda. Winkelhock is retired, Mansell's out, Piquet's out, Hinault finishes. Prost. We must watch the tunnel very carefully, because although it was watered at the beginning of the race, of course it hasn't been watered since, whereas the rain has continued to belt down on every other part of this Monaco lap. Now here is the leader coming through again. The gap was 18 seconds. He goes round Saint-Devote and starts to climb the hill for the 30th time in what we expect to be about a 60-lap race, and the gap between himself and Ayrton Senna is now 15 seconds. Ayrton Senna is catching this man, number 7, race leader Alain Prost, Marlboro McLaren, at the rate of 3 seconds a lap. So in 5 laps' time, if he keeps doing it, Ayrton Senna is going to be right with the race leader, with only just over half of the race run at that time.
Well, I think we are watching the arrival of Ayrton Senna as a truly outstanding talent in Grand Prix racing. The rain is coming down even harder now. We've got a real cloud burst on now. But Ayrton Senna has the same tires that Alain Prost is running, the same tires that the other Michelin runners. He's on Michelin tires, and he's catching Alain Prost at something like 3 seconds a lap. And that is a truly staggering performance. The Toleman is obviously a good chassis, which is a great credit to their team. They put it together. It's quite new. Look at the rain now. You can see that it's much heavier. The track is much wetter than it was a couple of laps ago. And now that's about the view you get when you're following another car. That brief one when he just came through and all the spray came up. And it's really horrible conditions. But Ayrton Senna is coping with them, and he's catching Prost hand over fist for the lead.
I can't believe that they're going to keep running this race. The conditions are the worst I have ever seen in a long, long time of watching races. Now, here is Prost coming through again, and I'm going to start the stopwatch. 15 seconds was the gap. If Senna is continuing to close at the rate of 3 seconds a lap, Prost is waving his hand. Prost goes through, waving his hand at the officials. He wants to stop the race, and who can blame him? Now, I'm just waiting for Senna to come through. And the gap, as Senna goes through, quite dispassionately, is down to 11 seconds. He's taken 4 seconds out of Prost's lead.
Yes, Prost, with his experience, wants the race stopped. And I can't blame him for that, because I wouldn't have even wanted it to have started in it. But the fact of the matter is, it's a very slow track here. There's a lot of corners. Cars don't go very fast, and aquaplaning is not normally a problem, is it? I can't, from this position sitting here, say that it is or it isn't a problem, but normally there isn't enough water on the track. It's a very hilly track, so you don't get a lot of lying water. And unless there's aquaplaning, there is in fact, from